Hello! Today I've got a guide for the Dazzling Stone-Forced Oddities all mapped out for you. There's a couple that overlap where you need an item from one oddity to finish another one, but I've tried my best to make sure you have all the info you need if you skip to any chapter. And without further ado, let's get started! The first oddity we're going to look at is sufficient supply. I don't believe you really need to talk to Azui at the start. You can just immediately head off to go gather the goods he needs, but you're going to need some thick-skinned and some feather rolls. I've marked on the map where the thick-skinned are, you can see it there, and then we're going to head up north. And personally, I gathered 10 of them. I'm not entirely sure the exact number you need, but I know that just one of each item wasn't enough. So, once I've got enough of them, I'm going to head down south to get the feather rolls. Those are not too far out of town, so you can head over. And it's just either of these owl groups will do the trick. And then once you've got enough, you can head on back to turn in to complete this oddity. Now, while you're at Azui, the next one right away we'll start with is selecting option 2 to get the status. You need help. And I actually already have it in the video, so we'll move right along to work doesn't have to wait. So basically, just run on over here to Jerome and ask him if he wants a job. And if you've got the status, you'll be able to bring him back with you. As you can see, he's following me here. And I'm not sure why, but the option to turn in is called Auto Potion has arrived. And voila, you're done. So next, for Virus Master of the Land, you're heading up to talk to Dabo here. If you talk to him, he'll give you an axe. And all you have to do is use that axe on those mobs that are kind of chilling nearby. You can see them up in the top left-hand corner of the screen. So target them, right-click the axe, and you'll get some meat. When you talk to Dabo, you can turn in the quest, but you'll actually keep the meat. So next we're going to head over to complete Underground Gourmet. Technically the meat that we have wasn't for this quest, but since he's going to ask us to talk to the same NPC, I figured we'd get both done at the same time. So, ask Sarah what he's looking for to gain the status that will let the Food King give you some food. And then we're going to return back to the village because the Food King is right next to the entrance, not very far from Jerome. So, just as an interlude, you can use the meat that you got from Dabo to complete fire cooking. And telling him his dish looks delicious will allow you to get his food. But he doesn't give it to you unless you have the status effect from Prince Sero. Okay, once you've got that done, we'll move on to True Dragon Transformation. When you complete Sero's quest, you'll have to come up here to bring the dragon crystal that he gave you, to turn it in to Kemba. And this one, really, you just turn it in. There's no tricks, there's no other actions. As soon as you got that crystal, just head up to Kemba and turn it in, and you gotta turn into a big snake. Right. Next up, Lazy Clone. So, if you were being smart, unlike me, the last time you were at Jerome, you would have told him that he looks tired and he would hand you a potion, and you can just keep that potion handy. But, since I wasn't very smart, I'm heading back to grab it now. The potion will actually transform you into Jerome. So I'd say don't use it until you've made your way over to the place where it's actually going to be in use. This is Shichi, the wizard. He's a wizard. Alright, so once you're close, you can use the potion. There he is. And tell him that you're there to work. I became a relic apprentice. Unfortunately, you did a bad job, so Jerome is now fired. So let's go back and tell Jerome the bad news and hand him over to severance. Poor guy. Okay, next up, visual impairment. You're heading over to Godfisher Kaika. So, once you're there, choose the first option. Aren't you supposed to be fishing? But he's complaining that it's too dark, so something must be wrong with his eyes. Anyway, he wants some kind of relic, and if you remember, Shuji had an option to get a relic, so now that we have the correct status, we can receive a relic from him. Alright, now we have the relic. You can actually right-click it to auto-path back to the using spot, but basically you're just going to head right next to the fishing guy and use it. You'll set off some fireworks. And now your second option will trigger the achievement. Alright, Relic Materials. For this one, you actually just have to gather up some... what's it called? Moss? They're actually rocks. These rocks that I ran past. And once you have the night glow moss, you can just head back over to Shichi. And he'll have a new option to turn in the moss. And for the last one, you'll talk to Fangs, ask him what's going on, and they'll hand you a fusion formula. Now, once you have this fusion formula, you can go back to Azui in the town and ask him for some UV powder. It'll have a new option available. Once you've got the powder, you just need to fuse it with the formula. And take it back to Fang. It'll give you a new option to give her the sunscreen, and she hates it. Great job. But that's all there is to the oddities in Dazzling Stone Forest, so I hope this guide was helpful, and thanks for tuning in.